I'm going to preview the Baylor versus Northwestern women's volleyball game, which will be played on September 4th at 6 p.m. Central Time on ESPN Plus. Of course, there'll be live stats as well, and I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And first things first, Baylor's overall record on the year is 2-1. I'll go like the wins that they got first. South Alabama 3-1. They lost the first set 25-23, but they won the next three. 25-18, 30-28, and 25-17. The other one was against LSU, 3-1. 25-20, 23-25, and then 25-20, then 25-23. I will say at the very end, though, it was like 24-20. Then LSU made a little bit of run, but Baylor got the last point of the match. And they did give away the second set, by the way. They did. Let's just be real when you keep track of on all this. And one thing I'm going to note before going forward, Kendall Murphy's only played one set all year long, and that was in the first game. She did not play in the last two. She's probably recovering from something. So something to keep an eye on. Hopefully she does get healthier and all this. And I'm going to just say I'll put the outlook on them on Northwestern in the description below. The statistics for Northwestern in the description below, as well as the roster, so y'all can keep track. And this is without the polls coming out and anything like that, I would assume Baylor would still be ranked because the only loss they had this year was against SMU, and that was a 3-2 loss, and it was really close. First set they lost, and Baylor lost 26-24, but they won the next two, 28-26, 25-22. They lost the next two though, 25-21 and 15-13. So really, right there with number 10 SMU, I have to think they're going to be ranked still. Will they move up? I don't know. Or will they move back? I don't know. I don't see them getting out of the top 25, period. Unless some craziness happens. But we'll see. And Northwestern is 3-0 on the year, but let's be clear on who they played. Not good competition. 3-1 win against New Mexico. 25-13, 22-25, 25-22, and 25-12. Then is Eastern Washington, 3-0, 25-11, 25-13, 25-18. And then UC San Diego on the road as a road game, 3-1 win for them, 25-21, 25-21. They lost the third set 22-25, but they won the fourth 25-15. So what are some players that keep on for Northwestern? Some of the things, and so I'm going to just say the first player to mention is Sienna Noor Dermir, Noordermer, a 5'11" setter that's a redshirt junior. And I know some of these stats are 11 sets, or I want to go anything above 8 sets here. No kills and no attempts, 61 assists, most on the team, 1 service ace, 3 service errors, 12 digs. That's it. There's Do Right, number 2. A 5'11" libero / outside hitter. No kills on 2 attempts, 1 attack and error, 11 assists, 3 service aces, 3 service errors, 1 receiving error, 30 digs. That's it. There's obviously Kayla Kaufman, number 4. A 6'2" middle blocker, that is a freshman. 10 kills on 18 attempts with 1 attack and error. 1 dig, 15 blocks, 0 solo, 2 blocking errors. There's Bella Simkis, number 6, 6'1" middle blocker, that is a grad senior. Ten kills on 16 attempts with 1 attack and error, 1 service error, 12 blocks, 1 solo, 2 blocking errors. Might as well just go over like Lauren Carter, number 10. And I know I might be skipping some because they're like 8 sets or less and all this, but y'all can check out in the description below. 6'5" middle blocker, that is a junior. Actually, correction, 5'10" setter, that's a senior. So I was going over like the player before and all this. So Lauren Carter has 58 assists, no kills, no attempts, 5 service aces, 5 service errors, 12 digs. That's it. There's Ayat Alnaldi, number 11, 5'10" outside hitter, that's a grad senior, and you might recognize ELNADY because she was actually at Kansas. So that's an interesting move. 25 kills on 65 attempts, 9 attacking errors, 3 assists, 11 service aces, 2 service errors, 3 receiving errors, 21 digs, 4 blocks. That's it. I would dare to say the next one is like Rylan Reed, number 21. 6 foot outside hitter, that's a senior. 31 kills, most on the team, 71 attempts with 7 attacking errors, 2 assists, 7 service aces, 2 service errors, 1 receiving error, 20 digs, 10 blocks. That's it. There's Isabella Bullington, number 22. A 6'1" outside hitter, that's a freshman. 22 kills on 46 attempts with 7 attacking errors, 1 service error, 1 receiving error, 7 digs, 2 blocks, 0 solo. There's Gigi Navarrete, number 23, 5'6" libero, that is a junior. No kills on no attempts, 3 assists, 2 service aces, 2 service errors, 7 digs. That's it. And the last player I'm going to mention is Campbell Paris, number 25, 6'5" outside hitter, that is a junior. 26 kills on 54 attempts with 12 attacking errors, 1 assist, 3 digs, 7 blocks, 0 solo. That's all the stats right there. Obviously, whatever you did right in those last 3 games, you got to bring it in this game. Whatever you did wrong in those 3 games, you got to correct for this type of game. And let's shake off those nerves from being at home for the first time in the regular season here. You don't want to have like overpasses, but if there's obviously overpasses, and you don't want to have as many free balls over, and like you just have to just get it over. But obviously, if the opponent does that, you force the opponent to try to do that. If they do that, you got to take advantage of it. Win the long rallies. You got to serve tough because sometimes your best defense comes from your serving and hitting in those right areas that they can't handle it consistently. Another thing, you got to avoid like foot faults and rotation errors, because the last thing you want to do is give up a free point just like that. Service errors you want to reduce, but I would like to be aggressive. Same thing goes for kind of like for attacking errors and errors where you got to receive the ball well, pass the ball well. Stay in system, make them out of system as much as possible. Get your blocking to step up in this type of game while eliminating their blocking. You got to dig every ball. Got to hustle them. Yeah, there might be some questionable calls here and there, but You got to be the mentally tougher team and make plays to win. You got to win those long rallies. You obviously want to make sure they don't get a ton of service aces on you. You got to shut down the best players for the team and try to catch them like, oh, they're going to go here. Oh, they're going to go here. And stop them. And make adjustments on the fly. Not just from like set 1 to set 2, from set to set to set, but during those sets. And if you feel like the opponent is on the run, there's obviously timeouts to be used, but you gotta make adjustments then. And if you are up, keep the pressure on and extending the lead, and we gotta be really good on slide outs as well, because it does impact the match. Like, and get a good like kill percentage while getting them not as much. Just go out there, protect home court, and you can't be intimidated by them only because of the Big Ten logo. Because you know the Big Ten is good in volleyball, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Northwestern is really good at the sport. Yeah, they're 3-0, but they have not played anybody. And obviously, you got to keep in mind that Baylor did play against number 9 Texas A&M in a practice game, so that does help there. And obviously having your bigger players step up and try to switch it up offensively, whether it's like an outside or opposite for a kill, or maybe the setter goes for a kill, or even a middle blocker. So, and obviously you don't want to have like net fault violations as well. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more from monitors. Of course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. Some more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe. It's free to hit the notification bell as well. And I do not anticipate Northwestern being some receiving vote. There might not be a receiving votes team, so you need to protect your home court here and get a win over a power conference opponent. Even though it may not be the strongest of opponents, you got to find a way to win this type of game. Whether it's a 3-1 win or a 3-0. Hopefully you could do that instead of playing more than 4 sets so far this year. So, we'll see about that. And if nothing else, try to find a way to win 3-2. And hopefully it does not come down to that. Hopefully it doesn't. But still, you gotta be hungry. You gotta be hungry, and you don't want to back down at home. Because in order to think about maybe being a top 16 seed for the NCAA tournament, you got to win matches like this, matches that you shouldn't lose, in my humble opinion. But you can't overlook them at the same time. Because you got to treat them as if they're like a dangerous team out there, like a SMU that you just lost to, or like a Texas A&M as a neutral site. That's how I would go at it, and try to work on yourself and protect the home court. Get the home crowd involved in the game. That people are there, while taking out the crowd through your play.